Do 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 do. A beep bop booby dooby 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 doop. This is the intro for Guitar Safari. Isn't it entertaining? That's it.
Awesome.
I know. I obviously I had worked on that for weeks and months, and I feel that everything just paid off.
Excellent. I think it's got some craftsmanship in it. So, hey,
I mean,
all right,
it
everyone.
took a while. The jazz hands didn't just come. I had to think.
That was that had to be worked out, choreographed. Well, welcome everybody to Guitar Safari with Charles and Seth. I am Charles, 75N, and my co-host Seth Pressley here.
I'm Seth.
They love the hats, they said. Okay, so in the chat we have Herb was Fire from Fireside Studios was the first one in the chat. Thank you so much, Herb. And Ryan was a close second. Ryan, welcome.
Yes.
And really appreciate Tony from Addicted to Gear. We just came out of Tony's live stream and he has joined us, so really appreciate that. And of course, brother Ben Coombe.
Hey, can I just say?
Go ahead.
Man. Because, so he's put this whole thing together, right? We just started coming in and hanging out. I saw Addicted to Gear, saw a couple of videos, and then was chilling and hanging out. And honestly, I'd been a part of other bigger channel communities just trying to chat and whatnot, and I never felt heard, or that other people were like, hey, Seth, whatever. In Tony's room, people were super cool. And I'm so thankful for hanging out there on Sundays. Usually my wife's dead asleep, and I'm out having my coffee and chilling.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that about Tony's. I love that about Ben's. I love that about Ryan's. They're all, they're like that. And so we've also been joined by Stephen Maselli and Rico B out of Arizona. So we're backing up. So Seth, talk to me about this whole idea of the Guitar Safari and what it means to you.
Everybody here, because I know the people from the chats, we've all done a Guitar Safari. Guitar Safari for me starts when I flip open the laptop or turn on the computer and I hit up Craigslist, right? I don't do it on Reamer anymore because there's no money there, really. But open up Craigslist. I brought my top 5 Guitar Safari. So I'm gonna hit up the first one. You let me know what you think, because the first one is exactly what I was just talking about. Number 1, find the real deal. Like when you're opening up, looking at Craigslist, if you see something that's popular and sought after and you instantly want it, well, man, it's probably not the deal, right? Other people probably want that thing too. So these are your
do's and don'ts, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't think top 5 ways to succeed in Guitar
Safari. So find the deal, take the time.
Excellent.
The right ad. So sometimes I won't search under just musical instruments. I'll go and I'll search under the entire Craigslist, and I'll just search for guitar. And people will put stuff up that they don't even know that they have. They'll misspell guitar, or they'll put up guitar, 1 broken string. That's a telltale sign that that's someone who, if it is a Martin or something, they're not gonna really be hit to the back, So I look for the right ad. What do you think about that?
I like that. I also look at needs repair, doesn't make sound, because that's usually just an output jack.
Exactly.
Some scratches. Those kind of things.
Well, so that
hello, Bo. Hello, Terry.
My number 2. Number 2 is take your time on the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Let other people on Craigslist that are gonna flake, right? That's such a common thing. Is that, if it's a killer deal, it'll be gone real quick. But if it's something that's simmering that you see potential in, If over time it's still available, that's a clue. But also, if someone says, well, so-and-so said they're going to come over and give me $500 for it, right? Well, make sure to tell them, well, if that person flakes, let me know, right?
Yeah.
And I always say, I put a little thing, I'll say, it's cash and I'm local. Because they get so many people trying to hit them up from far away. Will you ship it? Blibbity blah. People on Craigslist want money. They want it done. Number 3. Make sure it's easy for you. Meaning, don't try to do a guitar safari and like have a win and drive an hour and a half to meet a dude in a parking lot about a strap that you might make $100 on. You know?
Yeah.
If it's easy for you and it's in your hometown and it's no big deal and you're not taking a ton of time out of your life to go and check it out, then you're probably a lot more likely to not fall into the trap of, oh, I'm here, I came all the way here, I need to make this happen. Have you ever driven super far and been disappointed?
Definitely. I've done that. Oh yeah, I had a deal. I drove an hour to make a deal for 5 guitar necks. Had worked it all out with the guy. Show up there, guy never shows. Wait another hour. Never show. So I drove an hour, waited an hour, and then I was just like, okay, where are you? Go back, look at the ad. Ad was gone. Mark sold. Guy never showed. And that's made a deal with me, then made a deal with somebody else. Yeah.
That's number 3 in a nutshell.
Yeah, let me catch up the chat a little bit here. Welcome Ryan Hall, welcome Guitar Man 45. A lot of nice words here from Ben Coon. Really appreciate that. And so appreciate everybody coming in. And there was one in here. Steven says, at 17, I had a Melody Maker, but had no idea what it was. Traded it plus $100 for the Hagstrom.
Oh, well, okay, I get it, but Hagstrom Melody Maker, dude, you're not completely breaking my heart. If you just traded it for a Gorilla amp or something, that might have been not the thing. But I mean, yeah, I get it, and I've definitely I feel your pain and also have lived your pain. Let me think about what is I got through a point in my life where I let go of an entire guitar collection just down to like a top 5 guitars because I just felt like I was holding on to everything because everything is cool. Can't have 40 guitars. I just can't do it. Not me. I live in a small house. So we caught up. Hey, and let me apologize.
We are caught up in the chat.
So that's all on Charles, and he's trying to do it. It's our first time. We're probably pretty terrible at this. At least I know I am. But we're going to try to keep up with the chat because it's everybody here that we love. All right.
So where are we on your list?
All right, we'll keep working on because we got number 4. We're only going to be here an hour. Number 4. You touched on this. Like you look for the ads that say, not making sound, may have electronic problems. I always bring a little battery-powered amp. I can actually show you the amp that I bring. It's right here because I keep it in my workshop because I use it. It's a little Roland Cube, battery powered.
Oh yeah.
And so it works really well in the shop as far as just testing electronics. You get a bunch of different little tones out of it anyway. But even if it's a headphone amp that is the little Fender kind that just plugs right in, that you can test the pots, see if they're scratchy. You can test the output jack, wiggle it, see if it makes any crackling or popping. Older guitars almost always will, and that'll give you a point of negotiation, which may not be much. If the person knows what they're talking about, they're going to say, no, go clean it. But a lot of people say, oh, like, you know, it's not making sound. Well, yeah, this is a guitar it's an electric guitar that's not making sound. So, right, I need a good deal on it. So that's how I've gotten good deals before.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like that idea, especially with of bringing amp, because you bring that amp, you can see what it sounds like. You know, it doesn't sound right. You can look at that stuff.
I got a guitar.
That's another good way to go.
This guitar, it was on Craigslist, and it was a whole guitar when I bought it. It wasn't just what you see here, but it was on Craigslist, and I think it was $150. And it had this pick guard on it that's signed by the singer of the most famous metal band in the world. No, they're not a metal band, but Counting Crows. So this was up on Craigslist for $150, right? And it had that pick guard, you know, shitty Squire and a Squire neck on it. And so I showed up with my amp, plugged it. Also, I could tell that this woman, she was like a mom, kind of like a soccer mom. She's not a guitarist. Her kid probably had the guitar. This thing has been in her garage. She probably doesn't even know who Counting Crows is. So I show up in the parking lot, plug it in, and it makes zero sound. And I just sensed it, and I was like, well, I didn't come here to buy a broken guitar. I came to buy a guitar. And I was kind of just, I'm going to give it to my niece or nephew or whatever. And I said, yeah, I'll give you $50. Because I'm now, who knows what's wrong with the electronics? They could be all completely bad. And she said, sure, $50. That's $50 more than, you know, she didn't want the guitar at all. So $50, boom, I bought it.
She wanted it gone.
Let's ask the chat, Charles. Did I lose in that deal? Did she win getting the $50? I haven't done anything with it, but I mean, come on, that's hand painted, dude. That's worth $50. And it's a hard.
Yeah, that alone is worth the $50.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, it's a hardtail. It's even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, so in the chat we've been joined by a few folks. We got Hit Metal Works, we got All Dave, All Night, Herb from Fireside Studios. Come back with another story there. We're gonna have to get to that. Let's see. Great Vanzini has come in. So folks are rolling in here. Herb has a story. Herb had he picked up a smoking deal on an Axel guitar that wouldn't stay in tune. And the reason why it wouldn't stay in tune, there's a ball from an old string in there in the tremolo. And he offered to fix it for the guy. The guy declined, so he bought it.
An Axel guitar, I've had many. If I run away to the back, I probably have one or two Axel necks that I just, I bought the little Axel kid guitars. And then we'll refurbish them, round the fret ends, do the neck, make it play killer, and then give it off to a friend for their kid. Because I think it's neat if kids grow up with like playing some custom shop stuff.
Oh yeah.
They take it into school.
And we got another story here. Stephen, he got a second. Yeah. Stephen got a story, has a story here. He got a second Ampeg V4 in a similar situation. The guy gave it to him, and he bought $5 worth of diodes, and he was back in business.
So, $5. Bing, bang, boom.
For $5. Got the amp for free. Can't beat that. Can't beat that.
No, the Counting Crows guitar, I took it home, opened it up, and the pickups were, I should have saved them because they probably had them somewhere. They were the worst pickups ever made. They were they weren't even wired in. Like the output jack wasn't even wired up because it was just like a gift guitar. Hey, you came to the signing and whatever, and you get your guitar or whatever it was. But hilarious. But I was thinking I should put like, what if I put, and we can ask the chat, what if I put like, you know, this is a swimming pool route. I have thousands of dollars worth of, you know, bridge. I got a really nice $250 gold hardtail bridge. I've got $500 worth of pickups. We could get like a flame maple neck for it and build a $2,000 Counting Crows guitar, and I'll give it to my buddy and tow the wet sprocket. He probably can't play that.
Oh, yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Oh, did I ever get to number 5?
Oh, okay. No, we're I interrupted you to catch us up on the chat.
Are we caught up?
We are caught up.
All right, because number 5 is important, and everybody I think knows this in deal. You know, if you want to get a deal, you have to be willing to walk.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I make it close to your house, make it easy, because you have to be willing to walk to make a good deal, in my opinion. So there's the key factors, right? If you find somebody who's on, you know, they're meeting with you because they want to sell this item. They've taken time from their lives and day to list it, to get it up online, to come and meet you, to all of these things. So it's in your favor at that point, because they want to sell necessarily more than you want to buy, because you're in control of how much you portray, how much you want to buy. So at that point, when you meet up, you are in what I think is a little bit better of the strategy, right? You're a little bit on top, because this point, you're just seeing if you want something. Now you walk away, no problem. You took a little bit of time from your day, but also you were smart. You don't know where they came from, but you hope it's further than you. And especially, that's another thing. If they are willing to meet you and they're coming much further than you, that's a good little strategy too, because they're going to want to get rid of it before they drive home. Don't commit to shit, but you know. So be willing to walk. That's my thing. And I'll just say, you know.
That is true.
It's making a sound on the pots, just a quick cleaning, but I might say, you know, I came to buy a guitar, not another project.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is, and if you're looking at something that's in project shape, right, and stuff that's like that, because I'll do some meetups where I'll buy a neck or I'll buy a body or whatever, and they'll have like, I've got this other stuff too, and my strategies on that is, unless it's, you know, it's, well, I came really looking for the body. If you want to throw that other stuff in, it's great.
Right.
But, you know, or I'll say, you know, well, I can do another 5, but that's all I got on me. That's all I brought for the deal.
Yeah, I'll bring different sets of money and put it in different pockets sometimes. Like, got the, you know, $80 that I want to offer, but I have the other amount that brings it up to how much they actually wanted in the other pocket, in case I have to. Hey, should I show off one of my great Craigslist Guitar Safari success stories that hasn't sold yet, but I'll share it with this small community?
Definitely. I think that's, you know, that's what we're talking about. Might as well show some off.
But we'll show, catch us up if there's anybody chatting. But let me.
So Herb is saying he wants a classic 80s style rack gear, but he's hesitant due to all the pitfalls on Reverb, eBay, etc. Yeah, that's kind of the thing you want to kind of try to check out in person, I would think.
Totally. You have to just wait.
And Ben is
looking.
And Ben is adding to yours, you know, money in every pocket too. So you've got that money across all your pockets, right? And you know what's in each pocket. Yeah. Hey, Dennis Ellis, welcome to the party. That's the reason why pants have 2 pockets. I mean, 4, 5 if you count the little pick guard pocket. Oh, Gino. Uh-oh. So tell the story behind this one.
All right. Can you see underneath the GNL there? I know it's at a terrible angle. It says by Leo Fender. Very small. There you go.
Yeah. So we soloed you out. So yeah, we can see it.
So this is a GNL, but says by Fender. So it's Fender on the headstock. And this was made in the late 80s. It's like a blackie kind of look. Single, 2-point tremolo. So, I love the GNL tremolos. They are really, really cool. 3-bolt neck style, right? All painted neck. It's a painted gloss neck. I think it was maple neck, maple body, but I'm not sure. I have the specs because this dude had all of the original manuals and original hang tag and all this stuff. This was like in a closet. So, American made GNL in not perfect, a couple gash wax here and there, but really, really good condition. Okay. Advertised on Craigslist last summer. It was really, really, really hot. How much do you think it was advertised for?
I would have thought 400.
Well, you'd be crazy because no, that's not what it was advertised. It was advertised for 1,100.
1,100. Okay.
Yeah. These things typically go for about 1,500 on Reamer. So I sent him an email. So 1,100, right? 1,100 is the asking price. My initial email goes like this. My email is, yo, I see your GNL. It's awesome. Cash is a little tight right now, but I'd be willing to offer you $700. It's cash, and I'm local, right? So he wants 11, and I offer 7. 8, 9, 10. So that's and that's a significant drop. Mind you, it's hot, dude. It is hot. It's like 100 degrees, 105 degrees, which we're not used to here in Northern California. He gets back to me a little bit later. Oh, I had it sold on Reamer for $1,000, and I just couldn't find a box to ship it. And gives me the story, and I say, "Oh, that's unfortunate. Do you want $700?" He emails back, "Oh, well, yeah, I'll come down and I'll meet you." So it was very close for me. It was 4 miles or 5 miles from my house, but it was hot. The kind of hot that your air conditioning in your brand new Honda cannot overcome. It was hot. So I drive to meet this dude. It's like 106 degrees. Everything's melting. And I'm in a parking lot at like a shopping center. And finally the guy shows up and he's like carrying the thing. Looks like he had walked there from a few blocks away, all sweating and I'm like, all right, let's take a look at it. And he pulls it out of a very ratty gig bag. But he had called out that the gig bag wasn't perfect in the ad, but it was super ratty. And then he pulls it out and I look at it and it's like freaking pretty perfect. So I don't have a lot of shit to talk about it. But I plug it in and the pots are a little scratchy and I just get the sense from the dude. And my brain told me, hold on. He's here in 106 degree weather. Like, he wants this thing sold so bad. And so I said, oh man, I didn't see this big gash, which isn't that big, but it's a gash. I didn't see this big gash in the ad. And I didn't know the gig bag wasn't that bad. I don't know, man. I'll give you 400 for it. And so he was like, 400? Oh, I just had it sold for $1,000 on Reamer. Can you sell me a box? If you do have a box. I'm like, fine, I'm not going to give you a box. And so as we started to part ways, I was like, look, dude, I don't need another guitar. I don't need to drop this $700. That's a whole entire week's paycheck for me. I'm not going to drop it. And it's cool. Thanks for meeting me. And then he's like, oh, okay, man. All right. I get it. I understand. He starts to kind of put the guitar away. And I said, all right, 460. And then he looks up and I say, Nah, no, forget it. He's like, huh? All right, 440. And I just handed him 440, and he handed me the guitar, and we were done. So 440 was the number. But
there you go.
I have it up on Reamer right now, just so you guys know that I'm not a criminal. I'm asking $1,000 for it, which is less than what they're typically going for. If you go on, there's others out there that are more than this that probably aren't as clean. But I did a Seth Pressley precision setup on it. This one really didn't even need a plec. It was just played pretty perfect. So yeah, that's my guitar safari story for this G&L. And you know what? If it doesn't sell for $1,000, guess who's keeping it? Because it sounds killer.
Oh, Ben just typed in the chat. He says, I'm never. I bet it does. I bet it does. Ben just typed in the chat, I'm never negotiating with Seth. He'd own me. And Steven is backing him up on it. So, yeah.
Just saying, I'm trying to help all the family here get the deals, right? This is something I grew up. So at 13 years old, I had a little guitar store in my bedroom, because if you lived down the street and you said, oh, I didn't get the one I wanted this guitar, and you didn't, I would buy that guitar from you for a significant discount and sell it 6 months later to a different friend, or my older brother's friends. So you do what you got to do to survive in the hood. We haven't played any guitar at all. That's kind of
Bo doesn't. Guitar Man 45 doesn't have a GLL yet. Well, that one's available. Bo, it's available.
And if Guitar Man hit me up, I'd probably give him a little bit of a deal. The problem is with the reverb and all that, man, you always have, with the packing the thing and shipping the thing and all that, it's a lot goes into it. Check out this thing. Remember this one?
I don't know where. There's got to be a story behind the guitar.
But I don't think you've heard it much, have you?
Only in the video, which was superbly well played, by the way.
Oh.
So let's see. Welcome to the show.
But is it too loud?
No, it's good. That's good level.
Well, let's make it too loud. Sorry, I just like to crunch a little bit sometimes.
No, that's all right.
There's nobody here at the check that out, everybody. Oh, Guitar Man 45, hello. Where are you? Yeah. Hit me up.
Yeah, Guitar Man 45 said. Yeah, he said sorry, but he wouldn't pay the $1,000.
Hey, not everybody will. You know who will? Was the person who had one of those when they were 22 years old, and they're just gone, and there's only so many of them left. So, like, that's, and I'm not, am I gouging it? I mean, am I gouging at that price? I don't think so. $1,000, if you go out there, it's less than what other people sold them for. So.
Well, the guy that's got to have it will pay it, right?
Well, also,
and that's the thing. The guy that has to have it.
Almost vintage, because it's 90, so it's almost 30-something years old. It's a Fender with Fender's name on the headstock, made in America. So go find another made in America Fender that's almost 30 years old for $1,000. and send me that link,
Yeah.
please. You know, because I'll take it and I'll talk him down to 6.
So Ryan Hall had bought an original G&L S500 first run with the adjustable pickups, the post bags trim red with rosewood, all original, and he paid like $250 for it in the late 80s.
In the late 80s. Let's just do what's the calculator if you do inflation calculator? 250 in 88. What is that now? So it's probably 750. Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's gone up so significantly. Hey, did I ever show you my awesome vacuum setup at my shop? I know we're getting away from guitars.
No,
I wanted to show you because I was telling you about it, but I don't think I showed you. It's pretty freaking killer. I mean, and it's super easy, and anybody else could do the same easy, super cool thing. So you just do this.
Let's take a look at it real quick.
You just take your vacuum, set it up under your bench, kind of like that, and then I got this little thing here that hooks, and it's literally just like some random thing. You could do any kind of hook, but then you just keep it right under your bench. You keep it hooked right there. So as you do any kind of drilling or whatever, just done. Hey, don't judge me on how messy it is under there, right? But I can't keep it super clean. But that's where I keep a lot of my parts and like steel wool, some things to keep stuff accurate, all the to do shielding of electronics and all that extra little stuff. I don't keep up on the top of the bench typically. I try to keep it a little bit well hidden away.
Try to keep it all out the way.
Since we're gonna be talking a while, I had to have a comfortable chair, man. I'm old. I can't be sitting on a stool the whole time. Oh, that's good.
And Ben says whenever he sells some gear, Ben is saying that whenever he sells some gear, the guy comes, picks it up at his house because he's here to meet him and in the garage and never in his studio. So they don't see all the other gear.
Super smart. That's why I go by appointment only. And most people who sign up for an appointment to come here, like either I know them already, and then if they come here, I have all of their information, their name, their phone number, if they buy something, their credit card number, but all of their information, plus they're on camera walking in and out. So.
Yeah.
Plus, what are you going to do if you steal
William DeSilva says he had a friend that had a guy selling. But William DeSilva said he had a friend that had a guy knew a guy selling a USA made G&L bass about a decade ago for $100, and he didn't call him, and he says he's still pissed at that guy.
Some people, they don't know. They probably had guitar for sale, one string broken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or misspelled guitar, guitar for sale. That's always a good one for sure. I love Guitar Safari because it gives me. So the first time that my wife saw that I actually made a little bit of a profit on the Guitar Safari, it made it kind of okay. So then I could have like a weekend day where I, on Friday go and look for a good deal and try to hit people up. Oh, also, let's just say, if you're looking on Craigslist and you're trying to do this, like maybe you just send out a bunch of emails that are kind of ludicrous offers, like the $700 on an $1,100 guitar, and see what comes back. Like shoot with the shotgun first, and then see if you hit anything, and then really go in for the, But those days have really dwindled away, and they're kind of gone. The days
it used to be a lot easier. It used to be a lot easier. It really was.
$300 Mexican-made strap that you could find typically $300, $350, and if you're lucky, you go meet. You use the Seth Pressley Guitar Safari process, and you'd be walking out with $250.
Yeah. So, so we kind of talked about the process. We talked about the do's and don'ts and how to go about it. But, what are some of your favorite haunts to go ahead and go on Guitar Safari? I mean,
what are my favorite?
What are some of your favorite haunts? Or some of your places to go and look when you're just looking for something?
Almost exclusively on Craigslist. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have found one of my true, I call it an Excalibur moment, where you pull the sword from the stone, right? One of my, this is a different video. Oh, also, while people are in the chat, if we have anybody in there, please give us ideas for future, what other topics that you'd like us to talk about down the road for the other Live After Tony shows, because we want to just kind of keep it rolling for a little bit. But yeah, the Excalibur moment when I found this carven double cut in Northern California that I'm 99% sure belonged to Craig Jaquiso from Starship. Anyway, he's an amazing player. I opened up the case and I kind of could tell that was off of Facebook Marketplace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that guitar is fantastic. That deserves its own little thing. It's 22 pole piece pickups. It's stereo output. It's this crazy trapeze bridge that stays really, really in fantastic tune. It looks like it was made for a whammy bar, because it has all this locking hardware and stuff, but it doesn't have a bar. So it looked like it was just locked to be in perfect tune. And it's a magical guitar, and I got it for, I think it was either $400 or $500, and it's worth $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never sell it, because I can never.
I love, I've got a lot of places I like to look, and one of my favorites, believe it or not, is shopgoodwill.com. Because there's all kinds of, there's always guitars being posted up on shopgoodwill.com. And I've pulled off some pretty decent stuff off there. The Black Squire that I bought that became the Pinup and Skulls Telly back here, right?
Right.
That was, a purchase off of Goodwill, right? And so, and the telly the Galveston telly that I just got in was a Goodwill purchase, right?
And how much was that?
So that'll be future fodder for the channel, right? And and of course, the first fabric top I ever did, $50.
Mm-hmm.
And the fabric top Strat that we have back up here, that one is actually, let me just grab it. This one is probably my favorite Goodwill purchase, because I spent all of $24 on it.
You can't get
$24 on it. It became this. And the funny thing was, when I first got it, I didn't like it. It just sat in the garage for 6 months until I came across the whole fabric top thing, and then it got me into one of those. So, okay. So Great Vanzini's asking if Pressley California Customs is on Reverb. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, but only available in America at the moment. I haven't opened up to Canada yet. I think I should, but if anybody from Canada wants one, let me know and I'll hand deliver it. I need to tune up my Geo Metro and get it running tip top before it will make it all the way up to the Great North. But that's a dream of mine, man, is to drive that thing around giving away guitars. Why the hell not?
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and you keep the conversation going for a bit, and I'm going to see if I can't pull up your Reverb channel. Put it in chat.
We're just going to do an interpretive dance. keep people entertained. All right, so my wife told me, whatever you do, Seth, don't be yourself. So, hold on. For her. Well, the theory of relativity can be explained by many things that I don't know. Sorry, I can't not be myself. That's impossible. But hey, let's talk about this guitar. This is I'm calling it the LT model. Does anybody want to guess why it's the LT model? It is a Telecaster body, but it's essentially a Les Paul because it's got these killer Bartolini humbuckers in it. That, I mean, these pickups are truly amazing. They're beautiful. Hold on, let's play something. So the LT is for less telly. Right? Let's see if it stayed in tune overnight, or if it's not in tune. Nope, it's not in tune. Wait, maybe it is in tune. Yeah, it is.
I worked out the same when you need them.
So there's the bridge, right? Nice and crisp and bitey. And then we got center. Pretty juicy. And then you got really juice. So let's hit it with my favorite, a little bit of gaming. So you see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, that is sweet.
It needs a control plate for the back. That's I keep trying to order them and they never fucking come, so I have to make it by hand, which is just a pain.
Well, that is nice. I've been looking at that for a while now. So.
Oh, at this one?
Oh yeah. Keep sending me those pictures and keep drooling over it. So.
Well, that's fun. So that's one of the things. Like, it's nice and I send them to Tony, and I send them to my buddy Todd, and I have like this group. I haven't really been blasting Ben too much with him. I don't have his phone number, but I could message him on Facebook, I guess. But I try to send them to this group of people that kind of, and then after a while they get enough and they're like, okay, I've seen enough. I can start letting him know the parts that I don't like. And that's kind of what I like, because it makes me look at stuff a different way. Like my buddy, my buddy Todd. I wanted to put a pick guard on another one like this, but I was going to be lazy and just do a pick guard and not really shape the pick guard totally and have it kind of like that. But you see the part that is intended to go, like, it's shaped out for the control plate that I don't have on this. I mean, for the, the metal plate here. And he pointed that out, and I'm like, oh, that's so true. It'll look kind of stupid if I do that, because it'll have this part here. And it doesn't. So what I need to do is kind of just cut it and do a big swoop all the way across. But, I recently changed jobs. I'm not full-time at the guitar store anymore at San Francisco Guitar Works, so I have to, over time, accumulate a lot of the tools that are, you know, crucial that I just don't have at my immediate disposal. I'm sure that, you know, Jeff, the owner, would be super cool and let me come up and work there, but it's very far from me. So, oh, dude, I just made it to the big time, Charles. Ben just texted me his number.
Oh yeah.
Look out! Watch out, Ben. Sorry, you might have to block me at some point, but it's okay. My mom blocks me from time to time as well, and you know, when she's not feeling like the content is up to what she believes it should be, so just put me on pause. You know, cancel culture these days.
Hey, you know, sometimes it's necessary. Culture. Well, I mean, I did just be interested to see, you know, you guys in the chat, when you're looking to go guitar safari, where do you like to go and look? Where do you like to find your next treasure?
Or have you ever found one at a random yard sale, or you know, where did you find your guitar safari win? Right, we all have a little bit of a win that because we don't brag about the ones that were not a win. Yeah. $50. Maybe I need that $50 back, because I probably could have invested it in something other than whatever. Hey, you know what's funny?
That's
though?
Like or you bought that one guitar that you had to go ahead and do something with.
I met a guy.
Right, in order to make it worthwhile.
Guitar Works, and he was such a fan of Counting Crows that he had named his son after, I mean, I'm not like only for that reason, but he had named his son Adam, kind of after, I guess it's Adam, maybe it's Adam, I don't know what the guy's name is. I'm going to get it wrong, whatever, but I think it starts with an A. Maybe somebody will look it up. But if he messages me and wants this pick guard, because he's like, oh, I named my son after the singer for Counting Crows. I was like, I got a pick guard with his signature just sitting in my shop. If you and now I don't work there anymore. I was going to bring it into the store and eventually give it to him, because that's how I roll. Like, I don't need that freaking thing, right? Like, if his son is named after it, I'll just give it to you. I don't care. I got too much guitar parts.
So Ben will guitar safari, and Ben kind of guitars safaris in a lot of places I do, apparently, because he says pawn shops, thrift stores, yard sales, and flea markets.
Oh, flea markets. That's another place, because flea markets, a lot of people that sell the stuff there, they just buy like storage units, and they'll buy and clean out houses, and they don't always know exactly. The problem is the internet. Now everybody can take a picture of something and find out what it's worth, or vaguely what it's worth. And if they take the time to do that, you're out of luck. I mean, even Pressley Customs are reselling for $1,000 on Reverb, because the people know once they get it and they play it, they're like, they're just like me with the G&L. They're going to sell it, but if it doesn't sell, they'll just play it until it sells.
Yeah. One is saying that there's a huge large sale going on this weekend with a ton of gear in his area. He just dropped $1,300 last week, so he can't go check it out. Well, you can go check it out. You just can't buy anything, or you can make the deal later. Right? Get a number.
Last week.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's got me wondering, what did he spend $1,300 on last week?
So here. You've got a $1,300 budget. You can only buy new gear. You want to create a good tone, you get to buy a guitar and an amp. Let's just assume you already got cables and some basic pedals. What are you going to buy? And are you going to spend more money on your amp? Or are you going to spend more money on the guitar? Where are you going to land? I know exactly where I am, because I pondered this. I have gone into the deepest back here, and this part, and especially under here is where a lot of guitar people don't know that it's under this area in the brain that most of the guitar decisions are made. And so if you want to, you can just drill a hole right there and you won't buy any more. But I've gone back. I know what I would buy.
Well, I tell you. All right, what is it?
Oh, for me, okay, $1,300. I'm gonna buy a cheaper guitar. I'm gonna buy an E-Art because they are super cheap and they got stainless steel frets. I might splurge and get. I've actually kind of wanted one of the headless Delos guitars from Harley Benton because that's stainless steel fret, ebony board, 24 fret, 2 humbucker, and it's about $400. So that would leave me $900 for an amp, right? Which I would always spend more on my amp than on my guitar because the amp, right? You have okay pickups. You can, with a really good amp, you can probably get a fantastic tone. You can have fantastic pickups. If you have a really shitty amp, you're out of luck. You're done. You're not going to be able to get a blooming real note to come out of a terrible amplifier. So I'd spend my, although I guess what is it, $700-800 ain't going to get me very far, is it? Blues Junior.
No, it's not. But I would like to get either a Hot Rod Deluxe or a Blues Deluxe.
Which is how much?
Right, which do come up, and so that, and of course, I'm always looking for a Tele, and it doesn't matter what the condition on it. Well, I don't know. I'm always looking for a Tele, and it doesn't really matter the condition to me because I know I can do something with it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm at that point where I could use a nicer amp, and I think you're right about that. Having a really good amp is important.
Having a really good amp is like clutch. That is my Fender Twin. That is the amp that I was just playing now, and you heard it. It was on like less than 1, right? And then my clean setting was on 1.5. I don't think we even played much clean. So like that thing kicks. That thing is super hardcore. It just kicks ass. That thing I got.
So we do have an
Guitar Safari.
Excellent. We do have an answer back from William. he says, first of all, that's the problem. If he goes, he's going to spend money. He's not going to not be able to spend money. And but what he bought last week was a Belager Diablo Evertune. So,
so good.
So I can see that now.
Well, he didn't throw his money away. He just parked it in a playable
he parked it somewhere. He definitely parked it somewhere, and I don't feel bad for him now. No. It's easy to.
Evertunes are fantastic. They're very hard to install. To do it properly. If I was getting one, I would not have it put in by Evertune. I would seek out a really qualified luthier in my area that has they either give a certificate or a qualification once you pass their program. But once they're in and they're done right, or buy a guitar that already has it in, might be just make sure that it's right. They're fantastic. When you get them set up, you're good to go forever. Yeah. I don't have one, though.
Yeah. And so Dennis Ellis is saying, Dennis Ellis likes to use Facebook Marketplace for deals that are close. He also likes to go ahead and look at thrift stores. Sometimes, so he's been able to get 2 or 3 Squires under $40, which is pretty decent.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. A Squire under $40, you just get it.
Yep.
Because the parts, like, for a really good bridge, for a good bridge, you know, and Squire doesn't use total hunks of junk, but for a good bridge, ordering this brand new from a parts supplier, if you're not a setup business that gets the, you know, you're not doing the tax breaks and getting stuff at a wholesale, this costs you $40 to put on a guitar.
Yeah. Well, and if you shop around on well, I've bought that bridge, you know, genuine Fender part off a store on Reverb for $24. So they're there. You know, the things are there if you shop around. You know what you're looking at. Ben also added that, you know, if whenever he's posting something up for sale, so we'll put that he's open for trades as well, and that's another way to find something you didn't know you were looking for.
So smart. This is another man who also has learned how to use the brain power deep within, underneath the ear. Hey, this is actually, I want to show this to Ben since he's hanging out with us. This is a black hardtail bridge. All right, so it doesn't look like it's anything super special, and it's not, other than the fact that I'm the kind of person that believes that you hold on to something for the right moment, right? And I wasn't really building anything yet. But then a fella mentioned that he didn't have a purple guitar and that he didn't ever have a hardtail Strat. And so as I piece things together, a fella might down the road here, it might take a little while because I'm super poor, but I have motivation to build a very light, very shreddable Strat type object with a black hardtail bridge and a sparkly purple body. Like I have the purple right here, but it's not a hardtail. My manufacturer that I get the bodies from just released these babies. Look at that big brass block. Ooh. Just released these babies in a hardtail, right? So they're not inexpensive because they're super light. Like this whole guitar is about 6.5 pounds, and it's got single hum. It's got bare knuckles and Bartolini. One volume, one
Very
tone,
nice.
one B, one T. That's how we do coffee and weed. Handcrafted. Crafted means you put some stuff together. If you're crafting, you got a glue gun, you got some paper mache, you're crafting, right? Like all these parts, I don't hand make these parts and paint them. And I'm part owner in a sweatshop. That's what it is. No, I'm just kidding. That is not true. And please, I was using the other part of my brain that I could never use. That this needs to be turned off. I'm acting like myself again.
You're not supposed to say those parts out loud. Yeah.
I wonder though sometimes about these bodies. They're so damn nice, and they're, you know, a Warmoth body. A Warmoth body costs you $400.
Yeah.
So if I
will, but I will tell you, I've got I had 2 Warmoth necks, and they're just fantastic. Just fantastic.
I agree. I've got a Warmoth neck on a Strat right here that is probably the best neck that I have right now. It needed to be plecked though, but no biggie, right? Get it plecked and now it's perfect. But check out this neck.
Ooh, oh, I like that.
Nice and flamey flame. And this one is on a nitro body. But still kind of weird because like they didn't match the wood the best, but they did an okay job. Nitro finish. It's already started doing a little bit of checking. Incredibly dirty because I've just been touching it. I just come in and molest my guitars. Is all I do. Nice big brass block.
Well, you know, they've got to be
very light. I went for super light.
It shows they're being played.
Although it is it's not floating, but I just want super light. I usually go 3-string, a little bit heavier tremolo action. But yeah, this warm up neck. This was also a Craigslist guitar safari that the person was selling it in San Francisco, asking $300 for it. They came into the guitar shop while I was working, so I could just take a quick 10-minute break and meet with them. And I ended up, I think I got it for $150, or maybe I paid $200 for it because it's obviously like a $500 neck. And I got tuning keys with it. I don't think it was these tuning keys, but it was another set. So of Spurzels or something. So that's like $80 tuning keys. So yes, with the Guitar Safari, the Craigslist wins. I love it. And this is a 7 1/4. So it's got like that old, that classic radius, like a Silver Sky has it too, right? The 7 1/4.
Yeah. Well, so no, I thought the Silver Sky had a. Didn't they go 8 1/4 or something like that on the Silver Skies?
On the
it's an odd number.
On the SE.
Yes, on the SEs. Okay.
Yeah, but not on the real deals are 7 1/4. That's what I think John Mayer likes to play, that 7 1/4. But who knows? He probably likes to play everything because that dude can shred. There's a lot of haters hating on that dude, but he can shred. Drives nice cars. I mean, probably hella cool, but people always point out when you're a dick. Like, usually I'm really cool, but sometimes I'm a dick.
Hey, Herb, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, bud.
Thank everybody for stopping in, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because we have reached the top of the hour. Yeah. So we promised, Seth and I promised each other that we would. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
Oh, no. I was going to say 1 hour seems to be about perfect because we finish up on the heels of Tony, which is usually an hour to an hour and a half. So this is kind of just like, the awesome dudes, Texas Toast. They're killer. They link up with Dylan Talkstone that does the pickups. They link up with, who's the guy after that? Like 3 people. Who's the third one?
So you've got... Texas Toast is the third. You got Texas Toast, Dylan, and Flipside Music.
Flipside.
So it goes Flipside, then Flipside goes on, then Texas Toast, then Dylan.
It's like the trifecta for sure. I think I don't get off of work or whatever it is. Usually when I tune in, it's already at the Texas Toast part. So I should go back and watch some of the Flipside ones. But that's a great trifecta. And so we're just trying to like add to that, right? If because some people join late, like you might join Tony's at the last 10 minutes because you're stuck on something. You could just come hang with us because we're just a subset of that group. And eventually there'll just be like almost nonstop groups going around all day long. You can drop in when you need a little bit of guitar therapy. Next week
we just need to. We're gonna need to look at our time a little bit, and
next week.
So I don't know what time we'll be next week because we'll have to look at our time.
Right. Hey, next
week because Laz comes on at 11:30.
Let's do secret guitars next week. So that maybe is a guitar that you brought home and you kept it a secret. Or a guitar that you didn't really quite tell your friends how much you spent on it. So send us your...
I love it.
Cool. Well, yeah, put an update on your channel on the actual time that we'll shoot for next week, and we'll take it from there.
All right. So, folks, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap it up here. We're going to probably have a new time next week. We need to kind of figure it out because we're kind of getting into Laz's territory here, and we're trying to figure all that out. We appreciate everyone stopping by and come join us, and come back next week and talk about those secret guitars.
Right on, yes.
Enjoy the piece, and we appreciate the fact that you became part of our.
and use that part of your brain back here.
Excellent. Thanks, folks.
Later.